Welcome to Masterpiece Geek Theater. This week we'll be giving our dignified and respectful review of Black Panther.
Pinky's up.
No, I'm sipping my water. Pretend it's brandy.
Welcome back to the Hateful Geeks. I am one of your many hosts, Phil.
And this is Sweeney.
I'm Andy.
And this is Tim.
And we are going to be talking about one of the biggest movie blockbusters of 2018 and probably ever so far, Black Panther. Marvel nailed it. Good job for you guys. And yes, we realize we are four white dudes who are about to talk about a primarily African-based film. We just want to throw it out there. We're going to be setting aside our white privilege for this episode.
Check.
We're going to try really, really hard to set aside our white privilege for this episode. Yes, we understand right off the bat, we will never know what it is like to be a black person in America or period for that matter. But we love movies. We love comic books. Some of us know about Black Panther mythos, and we, for the most part, love this movie. So we're going to be talking about this from a film perspective, but we also want to recognize that it is impossible to talk about Black Panther without talking about the political and cultural effects it is having on society. So this might be an intense episode, but we want you to let you know we're allies.
Now that we got the PC crap out of the way.
Now we got all that PC crap out of the way.
Now I can call myself a cracker.
Well, did anyone get a time on how long it took for Tim to do a
Immediately.
Immediately.
Let's talk comic book movies.
Let's talk comic book movies, especially this one, Black Panther, the newest installment to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, busting records left and right.
Yep.
About two and a half hour runtime? About that?
It's
like 217.
217,
like that. Yeah.
2 hours, 15 minutes, somewhere in that area. This is, first off, the first modern comic book superhero film with a primarily African cast. And I say African, not African American. Blade took that. Wesley Snipes had African American. This is a completely new ball game, everybody. This movie is changing the game.
Yeah.
Black Panther, King T'Challa, royalty, superhero, scientist, lover of his people, like protector of the innocent in Africa, not like New York or Miami. This man keeps real.
Yeah.
He keeps it home.
Yep. I mean, so we got the first taste of Black Panther in Civil War.
Yeah, Civil War.
Civil War. So, and we see at the time T'Challa's dad, King T'Chaka. And he, at the time, you know, we didn't really know. I mean, for me, I didn't know who was the Black Panther still, because I figured it would be T'Challa, but like he was there. I'm like, well, he's the king. Shouldn't he be the Black Panther?
Right. No.
That's kind of the mythos, right? So whoever the king is inherits the power of the Black Panther.
It's like that. It's like that. That old newspaper strip, The Phantom.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So, and then we find out he dies, and we find out, you know, T'Challa is the Black Panther. And they kind of do a little bit of a flashback in this movie to that. You kind of see the pain and suffering that he went through to lose his dad that day. And we see him on his crowning day, if you want to call it.
Yeah, it's Coronation Day, pretty much.
Yeah, and one thing that I noticed off the bat, and I need to go back and watch the other, 17 movies.
Yeah.
But it didn't start off with the Marvel opening,
right?
The Marvel Studios opening, because it went right to the stars and T'Chaka talking to T'Challa about
No, I thought it had the opening.
I don't think the opening, the Marvel Studios opening, happened until after the apartment where they
Tim
confront.
is correct.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So it opens up, and that's actually not T'Chaka. That is Njobu. King T'Chaka's brother, played by the gentleman who's from This Is Us.
Right, Sterling K. Brown.
This guy is an amazing actor. He won an Emmy recently for this.
He won an Emmy. It was either for that or for People versus O.J. Simpson. I can't remember. One or the other.
That's one of my favorite shows on TV. That Mrs. and I are enjoying that immensely. But yeah, so Tim's right. It opens up with Njobu talking to Eric, young Eric Killmonger, about Wakandan history and the stars and the history of the Black Panther. And then it opens up to, we find out that Njobu is sort of side dealing vibranium.
Right.
And T'Chaka's not so happy about that, and Jobu's even less happy that he got spied on and found out, and shit falls to pot.
Yeah, because his reasoning was we're not protecting our own. The people that were getting oppressed, we don't have a way to protect ourselves, and we have all this technology. Why not give the oppressed people the power to fight back?
This is an amazing film because I think it deals with some serious global political issues that don't really get mentioned a lot in film or TV for that matter. We're talking about like the homeland African mentality versus like African Americans who were very much like, abducted and taken to America, and they've gone through like incredible hardships with civil rights and slavery, and the two mentalities of like this royal African lineage who's been isolationist and has never left Africa and doesn't get involved in the politics or the problems of other people. Then you have like their brothers in arms who have been in the thick of like the shit that white people have done to them.
Right.
And get all quiet.
Yes. But yeah, so we do get that opening scene. You're right, Tim.
It was pointed out later to me that, and I'm terrible with remembering character names, but the younger one that was there with Njobu that was also a spy that kind of ratted him out. That Forrest Whitaker's character when they were showing him young.
Zuri.
Yes,
Zuri, yeah.
Zuri. The actor playing young Forrest Whitaker is Forrest Whitaker's son.
No shit.
Oh, that's cool. I didn't know that.
Well,
awesome.
No wonder it looked like him.
Yeah. I was like, wow.
Yeah,
I've loved Forrest Whitaker's work, except for Rogue One. Sorry.
Yeah, that was weird though.
Have you guys ever seen Ghost Dog: Way of the Samurai?
A long time ago.
It's an old Forrest Whitaker movie, but he plays like an assassin who like follows Bushido in modern times, and he's pretty badass.
Nice.
It's a good movie.
I mean, I could watch The Last King of Scotland all the time, and that's the one he won best actor for.
Also a great Forrest Whitaker film.
He is the best picture.
So right off the bat, this is where we're learning that this is going to be a internal family. This is going to be a family affair, so to speak.
I'm trying to get the amount that this movie made over the weekend.
A lot.
$241.9 million, which apparently beats Last Jedi. It's the second biggest opening weekend for a movie ever, just behind Avengers. The first
I
Avengers.
think good.
Yeah.
This is the first film, I think, in like at least the 21st, if not the 20th century, that is Afrocentric and Afrofuturist, that is not based on the suffering of Black people. Like, because you've got movies like 12 Years a Slave, you've got like miniseries like Roots, you got Blade, and then you've got like, Boys in the Hood, and movies that are very much centered on like, violence and growing up in like poor parts of the country and like the plight of the modern Black man. But now you have a movie where almost like I'd say 99% of the African characters in this film are portrayed in nothing but like a positive light. There's not a stereotype film.
Right.
This is they're royalty. They have incredible technology. They're incredibly educated. They're civic minded. This is a film that portrays Black people the way they deserve to be treated, like members of the human race, and treated with honor and respect. And this is the first time a movie, especially a Marvel, this is a big name film that is being portrayed to the masses, is being like, here's a film that you can get into and and feel pride in.
And not only that, this is a film for younger kids as well. The kids are going to watch this and be able, people, they're actually going to see people like, them. They're going to see a Black hero. They're going to see Black, culture. And they're going to be like, I can look up to that. Somebody I can actually look at and be like, this is awesome. This is who I want to be. And it doesn't have to be a white guy. Because, how many Marvel films, how whitewashed is Marvel? It's been...
All of them have a white male character.
Right. All of them.
The only other Black superhero in Marvel was a technical sidekick to Iron Man. It was War Machine, and that's not even fair. Rhodey's cool, but Rhodey's all okay.
He's definitely the Robin to Iron Man's Batman.
There's many stories out right now that I've noticed, and even hear it just like within the office and within like our group of friends, is that everyone that has kids right now is like, I want to be Black Panther for Halloween, or I want a Black Panther costume or something. They don't see the color. they see that as a badass character with a badass costume that does badass stuff, and I want to be that.
Oh, that costume! That not costume. His actual suit was amazing.
One of the best costume designs in all of the Marvel films.
I don't want to hurt your feelings, but I like this suit better than Iron Man's all of his suit.
Yeah,
this was cool.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So, I mean, obviously I'm an Iron Man fan. I love Iron Man suits, but his suits don't even compare to this one, where you actually have kinetic energy stored inside of vibranium in the suit, where he can then unleash it when as needed. Like, that's just ridiculous.
But he's also got that like kind of magical spiritual aspect of him too, because they have the flower that gives him like he's kind of like a combo between Iron Man and Captain America, powers wise. He's got the technology side, but he's also got like the super strength and the agility.
Because that flower herb gives him agility, super strength,
regeneration.
I think, and then the ability to talk to his dad.
Yeah, like in Spirit Walk into the Panther lineage.
That was a really neat scene
to the ancestral plane where he's head out there, and
it was very almost shamanistic, I would say, of like you take some sort of mind altering drug, and you actually can go into the ancestral plane and meet your apparently this time it was to meet his dad, and I thought it was really
you can see all those in the background.
As I was gonna say, you can see all the Black Panthers of the past are there in that tree, and of course the one that comes down is his dad.
I mean, granted, it's still a patriarchy, but I mean, it is what it is. You got your kingdom, you got your king of your kingdom passing down the line. But his sister, I want to talk about his sister for a little bit here. I'm not good with names either, and I apologize.
Shuri. Is the character's name?
The character's name is Shuri.
Like
Shuri.
Shuri. Okay.
Yeah, and I know where you're going. She stole the movie.
She did. She stole the whole fucking flick. The second she flips the bird when walking off, she portrays like the younger sister really well, but she's super she's futuristic. She's educated, and she still respects tradition, but she sort of scoffs at it a little bit, and she's just really scientifically minded. So she's like, oh my God, her and Iron Man could sit down and change everything.
I want a scene of Tony Stark, Bruce Banner, and Shuri in a room together, and they won't know something, and she's going to immediately see it, and just their reaction.
She is in Infinity War.
Of course, she better be. I mean, she's probably sit down like, how come you haven't cured yourself, Banner? I could do that in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, as far as I know, Black Panther, obviously. Shuri's in it, Nakia's in it, and I'm always going to butcher her. Okay, whatever.
But that was nothing I was going to say.
I can't pronounce it.
You did mention it is a patriarchy, but all of their warriors for that tribe were female.
Yeah.
All of them.
Yeah.
My wife loved that part of the movie.
Right.
She was like the actress who plays Michonne, whose name I can't remember.
That's like Danae something.
She was like the entire royal guard. She was like, I love how you have your superhero, but he is surrounded by badass women.
Yes. I mean, his mother included.
His mother was highly respected.
Yeah.
And she is like beautiful. Like she was just like extreme royalty that entire time, even in like the dire situations. She knew what to do. She wasn't just the typical throwaway female character.
Yeah, that we get in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
This is a royal family with such dignity and respect about them. Like, this is not like Zamunda and like Coming to America,
right?
Where there's like jokes being thrown left and right. This is like this is a pretty amazing like group of people that are like world changers, but they're an isolationist country,
right?
Wakanda Forever. Wakanda doesn't open its borders. In fact, they are so isolationist, they have like a cloaking device that hides the real nature of their country.
Right.
Everyone thinks they're like sheep herders and like
everyone
farmers.
Everyone thinks Wakanda is a third world country.
And they are far from it. They're probably the most advanced society on the planet.
Right.
Yeah.
So this is one of my favorite themes about the film. We're talking about isolationist Wakanda, and then you enter Michael B. Jordan's character, Eric Killmonger, who is Wakandan, but born and raised in America. Well, half raised in America. Unfortunately, his father is, spoiler alerts, his father's killed by King T'Chaka accidentally for trying to kill Zuri.
Right.
So he's already pissed off at his homeland. He's pissed off at his uncle. He's pissed off at T'Challa just for being there. So we have a young man who's grown up in
Oakland.
Yeah.
And in the early 90s.
Yeah, in the early 90s and not
like
in the
not
greatest
a good
of,
Oakland.
Yeah.
Without his dad.
Right.
In what is arguably one of the most difficult social environments in the world for an African American man.
Mm-hmm. Especially at that time.
His outlook on life is not to be, it's expected.
It led him to the path he followed. It led him down this road where he knew what he wanted to do because of what happened to his father. And, he goes through all this special training. I mean, he was like what? He was like Green Beret, and he was all these special ops, and he pretty much because Killmonger isn't his actual last name. Right. Killmonger is the nickname he got in the military. Right. His last name's actually Stevens.
Right, which Iraq, I thought was Afghanistan.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like every big war in the mid to late 90s and the early aughts, he was there racking up a kill count.
Yeah, because I think they said he was a sniper. I might be wrong.
Yeah, I don't remember them saying what it specifically was, but I do remember they say that they go in during times of like elections or just like civil war,
control,
and they seize power, right? And they go in behind the scene. That's what he did. And I think that the whole death of his father set that battle.
Oh, it sets it in motion.
That warpath for him.
Right.
So we've all had our we love the Marvel movies, but we've all agreed that they're very
shallow,
average or subpar when it comes to their villains. Loki is one of the only exceptions. Like almost every single villain has either already been killed off, didn't have a lot of motivation or desire.
Ultron.
Like their villains to me have always been like, okay.
Well, I mean,
one was written like his backstory and everything gave him an actual purpose. It almost like my compliment to him reminds me of Zod. Like he has a reason, like he's justified in what he's doing. And to me, it's like we also feel that justification with him. It's not just like
you hear his like explanation for everything. You're like, he's kind of right.
Yeah, like I see where he's coming from.
Well, and to me, it kind of, and not strictly, but it kind of reminded me of like the first Iron Man, where you have Jebediah or
Obadiah.
Obadiah.
Jebediah.
The Amish, the Iron Amish monger.
Close. Are you thinking of Jebediah Simpson?
So yeah, Obadiah. I think that was like the first. They did build that one. That was their first one. They built that villain very, very well.
Right.
And I think that this one they do the exact same thing. They give him a purpose. They give him a calling. They make you actually not hate him as a villain because you're like, I completely understand where he's coming from.
Right.
Yeah.
You put anybody in that situation, they're going to turn. They were fight or flight, and he chose to fight, and he became really good at it.
I mean, with Killmonger, everything that he was doing, he was like, I have a right to the throne. You're like, yeah, you do. And he's like,
he's right to challenge for the throne.
Right, he's the bloodline.
Yeah, he's allowed to challenge for it. And he was like, I was treated like subpar shit. Yeah, you were. Like all this stuff, like everything was justified. And then he was like,
you were abandoned.
Yeah,
and you were.
And you're like, okay. And then he's like, and I want to conquer the world. Like, because
that was part of it too. Is that T'Chaka knew that he had a son and just left him.
Well, there. But he kind of had a purpose for that too, and I can kind of see what it is. Is again, like his dad was trying to do. People around the world are oppressing people that look like them, and they're like, why do you not help these people? Why don't you give them the power to beat their oppressors? And he was very against the isolationism because he wanted Black people around the world to have the power to fight back.
Yeah.
So here's where I think like the film raises an amazing political point. Here is a young man who wants to take a militaristic approach to righting social injustice,
right?
Versus another man who would rather just live and let live and stay in their own little bubble, literally and figuratively, because Wakanda's in a bubble. Who's right? Who's wrong? Like, can there be like somewhere meeting in the middle for this? Are we allowed to decide? I don't think so.
Right.
I agree. I think Killmonger was one of the better fleshed out Marvel villains.
Right. Absolutely.
I don't like what they did with him. Spoiler alert again. If you haven't seen Black Panther yet, whatever, man. Get out of here.
We'll make sure it's posted with spoiler alert. So, if you want to listen to this show, stop now, obviously, because we've already got 30 minutes.
If you haven't listened to any of our reviews before.
But yes, we will spoil everything for you.
So Killmonger dies, and by his own decision, because he's stabbed with the dagger by T'Challa in their fight. But of course, it's Wakanda. They can heal broken spines. They can certainly heal a knife wound to the chest.
Absolutely.
Just leave the knife in there, man. Just don't pull it out. He literally says, "I would rather die than be a slave."
Right.
That's when I was watching this film, all I could think to myself was like, fuck. Like, he could have been saved. Like, here's your cousin, man. You could have told him, like, you're part of the royal family. Your birthright is here. You can live with us. We can make this right. We can find a way to help everyone. And, like, Wakanda doesn't need to be isolationist anymore, but we don't need to, like, wage war on the world.
Right.
Like, here's somebody who has suffered at the hands of social injustice his whole life, who has no way to properly express how that feels to somebody who's been raised a prince and has never known what it's like to be spat upon for just looking different.
And he knows that his lifestyle, his choices has made him this man who he is, and he can't come back from that.
But could he? That's why I'm upset, because they kill him because it implies that he can't come back from that.
But he even said, like, he didn't want to spend his life being imprisoned, and he knew even if he's T'Challa was like, "Hey, I forgive you" and everything, but their justice, like, he would have had to have been in prison. He killed Forrest Whitaker's character. Like, he was going to be in prison, and he was like, "I'm not going to live that way." And he got to decide what his fate was.
But you couldn't have done your time and, like, been redeemed. I don't know. I'm just thinking, like, could you imagine how powerful they would have been, like, together?
Right.
So I wanted them to, like, find common ground and, like, redeem Killmonger, but the movie implies that he's too far gone because he's suffered at the hands of white imperialists.
And let's not be naive here either. He could come back.
I mean, in the comics, they kill him and they literally resurrect him.
Right. But he also he had the Black Panther power, which has regeneration abilities. So his body could self-regenerate over time. So I'm not saying, what a twist. I'm just saying
what a twist.
It's possible they could bring him back. It's not far-fetched.
That aside, I want to think about the theme of the film by killing Killmonger.
Yeah.
Is the filmmaker trying to say that the only way to, like, move on in this situation is to learn from the pain of these people and to either let go of and let that anger die?
Well, I think the main theme is it also showed T'Challa what was happening to those people and how they really felt, which then why he made the choice to open up his doors and set up these outreach programs to actually support these communities. So I think it was also a catalyst for what could happen, in the future.
Which just tells me that T'Challa learned from this circumstance, which means he's a truly great king.
And I think he wanted to save him all along. I think that after the initial anger of him trying to obviously kill him and take over the throne, he realized what this man's gone through, what his purpose was. And he realized that it was because of his father that he was this way.
That's the thing, though. I don't really feel like T'Challa learned that lesson until way too fucking late. Because in that throne room, when Michael B. Jordan's standing there and he tells him, like, "I'm N'Jaka, son of N'Jobu, and I challenge my birthright for the throne," instead of saying, like, whoa, let's have a little side conversation real quick. Everybody out. Everyone get the fuck out of the throne room.
Right.
Well, cuz my dad was a dick. Your dad was kind of a dick too. We're not our dads. Welcome home. Let's get you some cool ass Wakandan outfits and some tech, and let's.
Well, I think at that time T'Challa was too arrogant.
Well,
because he just found out that his father had done this, and he was at a point where he had his father on such a high pedestal that there's no way his father could do that.
Right.
And he was so arrogant because he'd just become king. He's still set in his ways that from throughout however long Wakanda has been there. I think that at that time, T'Challa was just too arrogant to make that realization.
I also kind of feel like T'Challa got to grow up with his dad.
Right.
Killmonger did not get to grow up with his dad. His dad was stolen from him at a young age. I think that is also a poignant commentary the director is trying to make for the African American community. Like, there's a lot of political like stories and themes taking place in this film that are that are not talked about.
Right, and it's very, I mean, to a lot of the community, it's very relatable, and they can understand like the different sides of the story, and they can see this. That's what this film is really good about. It's allowing people to see themselves in this movie, and whether it's black, white, whatever, you can some of the stories, the plot lines you can relate to. If you didn't have a father growing up, you can relate to Killmonger. If you are a little arrogant, you've been raised with a silver spoon, you can kind of see like, wow, maybe I should not be such a dick all the time.
I would not classify T'Challa as a dick all the time.
No.
T'Challa, that's a little extreme. Yes, he had his dad. Yes, he was a prince, but he wasn't like Lion King dick prince.
No.
He took his responsibilities towards his people and the throne very seriously.
Right.
And I think that's definitely expressed throughout the film.
Oh, absolutely. That was my...
That was you calling Black Panther a dick, and I don't want to hear any more of it.
That's my unclean mouth coming out. It's my
dick.
metaphor. Your dick.
No, from the outside looking in on a very general, unknowledge level, like if you just go, oh, here was this very wealthy, advanced country in Africa, and they shielded themselves, and they were like, screw it, we're only going to worry about ourselves. You could see why some of those other nations or even tribes like around there could have been like, you guys are kind of dicks.
Well, I mean, I think it's just like T'Challa goes through what Tony Stark goes through in the first Iron Man movie, where this needed to happen for him to look at it another point of view.
To realize,
like just how Tony Stark needed to be kidnapped and all that crap to see that, oh, these people are using my materials as weapons.
Well,
like
they need to be taken down a peg a little bit.
Right, exactly.
They feel like they're invincible. They feel like they're on top of the world.
That's what I'm saying. He's arrogant.
Yeah, and so
that,
absolutely.
that first meeting with Killmonger is that T'Challa's too arrogant to see his point of view, and it comes back to bite him.
Yeah.
So my wife raised an interesting point when we walked out of the theater on this. She obviously has no knowledge of comic book background. She doesn't know the characters like we do. She actually didn't know that Killmonger was the villain until the fight on that waterfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She was like, she actually believed that he was like just a CIA agent trying to get home.
Right.
Because he kills Claw.
They
kill Smeagol.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say. Like, did she think the Claw was the main villain going into it, or?
Well, yeah. I mean, obviously, he's like a South African. He called them savages. He's a weapons dealer. He's trying to steal vibranium.
Are you?
The weapon in his hand was
liar.
This is one of my issues still with Marvel, though. We just said how Killmonger was actually a very well fleshed out and great villain. Claw, I thought, was an actually like interesting villain because it was you didn't know a lot about him, but the way Andy Serkis played him, the way he even his South African accent was even spot on. Like he did it
South
great.
African.
And you kill them both.
I have a question real quick.
Stop.
I have a question real quick. How does Claude not age a day from 1992 to 2018?
That hologram of Claw looked way better shape. Like he wasn't nearly as scruffed or grayed out. Like,
okay.
Right.
Okay.
Well, and also I think Claw he served his purpose. It was the connection between the Tony Stark's Captain America's to the Wakanda Empire.
But
it
Claw
really
is correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Claw like a main tier villain for the Black Panther?
He started off as a Fantastic Four villain.
Yeah.
Yes. But then again, Black Panther was also introduced on the pages of Fantastic Four.
That's true as well.
And I would
say, I mean, he's up there-ish, but like in the whole of Marvel, like he's like
no, not all of Marvel, but just with Black Panther, kind of like a Captain Boomerang to a Flash.
His claw is made out of vibranium. In the comics, he is portrayed as like a reoccurring villain.
Right.
Yeah.
So the fact that movie number 1 dead.
Well,
and he kind of the way he went out, he was running away.
He kind of stopped running and then took a bullet to the chest. Bro.
Yeah.
I mean, but I also think he served his purpose. I'm not saying for comics. I'm saying for the MCU, for their cinematic universe, he served his purpose.
Do you want to be frank? No, I'll be Phil. Never mind. Anyway, Andy Serkis's Claw is a metaphor for colonialist poachers.
Words are hard.
let's be honest. European whites have been ransacking and raping and pillaging the best parts of Africa and its wildlife and its resources for hundreds of years. Andy Serkis is just one gigantic walking, talking metaphor for that in this movie. And honestly, he needed to take a bullet.
And they talk about that because the tribe member in Toba is the tribe that sides the Killmonger.
The tribe of the Rhino. Yeah, that's how I know them from the comics.
Yeah, the awesome metal encased
blue rhinos. Yes,
Wakabi.
Okay, thank you. His character even says, the reason he wants to get Claw so badly is because his parents were killed when Claw first attacked them and stole a portion of their vibranium. So he is exactly that. He is the white man poacher.
But that's another thing. Wakabi also has experienced tragedy and pain at the hands of a white colonialist.
Right.
So he's able to empathize with Killmonger right off the bat. And Killmonger bringing him a little present in that body bag made him willing to listen.
And not only that, he served beside T'Chaka. Yeah. He served beside him and he said, your dad never got him. He never captured him. I've been waiting for years for him to, do this, and he never did. Can you be different? And he let him slip away.
He promised him too. He was like, I promise I'll bring him back.
And then here comes Killmonger with him in a body bag.
He's like,
I brought you a present.
He did it for me.
Right.
What have you done for me?
Which I didn't realize is Daniel Kaluuya, or I can't ever say who's in Get Out.
Yes, it is.
Which it took me like halfway through the movie where I was like, oh wait, that's where I know him from.
But yeah, no, touching on a lot of the different, was it 5 tribes?
I couldn't keep track. There were several. But my favorite tribe, and I think this is the one that deserves the biggest mention, is a tribe of the white ape.
Yes.
M'Baku, that's right. Because we were talking about our last episode when we were talking about how psyched we were for this movie. We were talking about how we hope that because white ape is a big villain in Wakanda. But they kind of redeemed them a little bit as part of the Wakandan nation. And some of you remember how I felt about Thor Ragnarok, right? How it was way too goddamn comedy filled and Thor's not a goddamn stand-up comic. Right. And Marvel's just pandering to the fucking audience at this point, trying to crack jokes all the time. This movie did not do that at all. They had proper comedy at proper locations when it was appropriate to the story.
Right.
Oh yeah. And so that interaction with them in the M'Baku throne room was hysterical.
Yeah.
Oh my god. Okay. So there are only 2 white characters in this film.
Right.
Andy Serkis's Claw, as we discussed, who eats a bullet thanks to Killmonger, and Martin Freeman.
Yeah.
Martin Freeman, who played Bilbo Baggins. So we had Bilbo Baggins and we had Gollum in this movie.
Yeah.
Your Tolkien white guys.
What were they, Andy?
The Tolkien white guys.
Good for them. We only needed one white guy in this movie, and it wasn't.
I just remember Martin Freeman from Sherlock. He's Watson.
Yeah, he's Watson in Sherlock.
We didn't need Martin Freeman's character in this whole movie. I felt like his entire character was unnecessary.
I was fine with it in the casino and the interrogation scene, but beyond that.
Taking back to Wakanda.
Yeah. That's what I mean. Beyond that, it's
see, that's the part I was okay with. The giving him a hero at the end kind of thing. You didn't need that shit. But the purpose and showing how they actually took an outsider in and started healing them, it kind of opened the eyes of some people, I think.
Right.
And it let them kind of see how they could help people. Now, again, after that, you didn't really need it, but I think you needed that interaction with an outsider that they wanted to take care of to, have that purpose throughout the movie. But after that, no. You didn't need him to have that piloting thing.
That was unnecessary.
That stuff.
See, I took it as that was the outside world finally finding out what Wakanda was. He is the outside world. So I think they realized that after he's been there and he's seen this, that's where T'Challa knew guy, we need to
Andy,
go.
But he's a white CIA agent, which is literally the man.
Exactly. And they trusted to bring him in, heal him, and not only heal him, but give him some ability to pilot their tech to help them.
Well, I think it just allowed, like you said, the outside world at a sight to what they do have to prove what's inside there. And I think, again, it's all building up to the point when they make the decision to start helping the outside world. And that's another step to it is, okay, well, he literally took a bullet for me. Like he took a bullet for. We have to save him. Like you can't. He saved his sister, or not his sister, his
girlfriend.
His girlfriend.
Nakia.
It starts with an N, and I can't remember.
I think it's Nakia.
Nakia.
Okay. Yes.
So she's like, no, you have to save him. He saved my life.
Who was played by the young woman from 12 Years a Slave who won an Academy Award.
That name I don't know.
Hold on, I had IMDb up. Hold on. Lupita Nyong'o. Thank you. She's also Maz in Force Awakens.
Yes, that's correct. It's also a Star Wars.
Okay.
She does the voice of Maz Kanata.
Yeah, I did not connect those two.
Yeah,
nice.
Maz Kanata.
Disney.
She was a great part of this film too, and I see a lot of potential for her character. And so is it weird that I want to see a lot more from like his female co-stars than from Black Panther?
No, because
I thought that was one of the best parts of the movie was all the actual interaction with them and the final the final battle where the Rhino tribe. That's what they're going to be.
Yeah.
Supports Killmonger as being their king and tries to take on Black Panther.
I mean, it makes me want to see an all-female Marvel movie that they're talking about.
Yeah,
even more.
And I do like the aspect too is they paid homage to like the African tribes and their actual like garb and how they looked, but they also gave them that technology twist. Like they added,
that was cool.
They added like those blankets they pulled up were actual like shields, and,
energy shields.
Right.
Those were awesome.
Yeah, and then like you had like some of the rings fighting style, like the old school like weapons were like technologically advanced, and I thought those were really cool like concept.
They had the armored rhino mounts, pretty cool.
The vibranium armor on the rhinos.
Like this movie like portrays science fiction African culture,
right?
But it does so in like a respectful and a really like prideful way. Like this is great. This is a great film. Like this is a movie where you don't get to. I don't think I've ever been privy to this portrayal of African culture in predominantly white cinema.
No, I haven't seen anything like this.
So I read an article from somebody from the New York Times who was talking about how they were on their way to see this film, and there were, young African American kids who were looking at the poster, just came out of the movie, and one of these kids said, "Is this how white people get to feel all the time?"
Holy crap!
How much does that break your fucking heart?
It does.
This child says this, and then in the article, the New York Times guy said that one of the other kids said, "I'd love this country too." Like, that's a lot to fucking think about. This movie is changing cinema for the better. And I think a lot of people get their culture now from movies. So it's important that pop culture does these positive portrayals. There are monsters out there currently that are doing awful fucking things against this film without even trying to see it.
Well, I don't even want to talk about that. I don't want to give them the time of day.
Fair enough.
Because those guys just piss me off.
We
like
can do a political episode some other time.
Those people that are too stupid or too ignorant, I don't know the difference anymore. But
both.
They just need to get a life and get off of social media.
Get fucked. Anyway, there's only one thing about this movie I didn't like, and that's the after credits scene with Bucky.
I was going to say thank you. So I had one issue with this movie. Had I bought the overpriced bucket of popcorn, I would have fucking kicked the bucket across the theater. I told you guys, even I think I
so
said
he settled
like
for the smaller one.
The last episode, I was like, I don't know a lot about Black Panther. It was never something that I read, and so going into the film, I was so excited, one, to learn about him, and then I said, and two, the next film is Infinity War, so they're going to lead into it because every single Marvel movie at the end of the credits leads into like the next. What's going to happen next?
That's what they've always done.
So I myself gave myself really high expectations of we're going to get a fucking awesome stinger. And you tell me something that I've known since goddamn fucking Civil War.
They literally mention it early in the film when Shuri says, "You bringing me another white boy to fix?"
Yeah, she goes, "I gotta fix another white boy." Like, yes, we knew he was there.
We've known
he was there.
We know Bucky's there.
Fucking rage.
Like I wasn't upset because we kind of got our our Infinity War teaser at the end of Ragnarok, and like, let me finish.
Can I finish? Can I finish? Can I finish?
But also,
can I
like,
finish? Can I finish?
But also, like, Infinity War is like 9 weeks away. Yeah.
Well, what I was gonna say is, why don't they give us a glimpse of the Infinity Stone that's in Wakanda?
We don't know for certain there's an Infinity Stone in Wakanda.
I mean, I think it is too.
There's no other way, no other place it can be. Oh, all right.
What do you know?
I'm raising my hand because I want to know if you guys want. Even it's not. I don't know for sure. It's a spoiler, possibly. So do you guys want to know?
Of what?
Yeah, Tim probably already knows.
Do you have proof for this spoiler?
I do.
Of what?
Okay.
What's the spoiler for?
For
what?
It's the Soul Stone.
Oh, okay.
So
that's in the forehead of Vision right now.
No, remember they've changed the mind. They've changed it around for
the in Vision. The Soul Stone's the one they haven't shown.
So the Soul Stone is the one that has not been shown yet.
The orange one.
So we know the Lego sets have a really bad habit of spoiling, and when they do reveal stuff for their sets, it's always what happens actually in the film. So
also, before you mention it, if anyone's listening and doesn't want to hear the spoiler, skip ahead like 10 minutes.
Stop listening right now.
Unless you're a Lego enthusiast, then you're fucked.
Yeah, the Lego set that has the Iron Spider is the one that shows like the Iron Spider is going to have the legs. Right. They show that Thor has Jarnbjorn.
Actually, it's not Jarnbjorn. It's anyone who's ever watched the Ultimates or the Ultimate Universe, Ultimate Avengers, Thor's hammer has an axe side on it. So that's his new hammer. It's going to be a lot like the Ultimate one. So it's half hammer with an axe end.
Yeah. So they show him with that. Breaker? I think so.
Is it called the World Breaker?
Because isn't the handle a branch from the tree of Asgard?
Yggdrasil.
Yeah, so that's shown in the Lego set. And then one of the sets itself is called The Battle for the Soul Stone in Wakanda.
No fucking shit, really?
Yeah.
So the Soul Stone is in Wakanda. Maybe that's how they've been getting some of their tech. And so that's why when you see in the previews all the shit going down in Wakanda, that's where the Soul Stone is.
$50 says it's one of the eyes of the gigantic Black Panther statue.
I will say more after we're done recording.
Okay. No, say it now. Say it now.
I technically can't.
Fake name. This is Jim. Tim's no longer on the show. Say it.
This is Jim Tinkle.
Tim.
I'll say it after we're done recording.
Tom Binkle.
Yeah.
I'm just going to post it on our social media. You have a choice. You can break your NDA right now, or I can like crush your heart with my Jedi powers through the internet.
No.
But yeah, that's why I thought that just thinking, because I know in the comics it was there. And I was thinking, well, they haven't seen it anywhere else. I
mean, the comics, it's been there multiple times.
Right. This society, is obviously really well advanced, with technology. Might not just be the meteor that crashed. It could be other things. And that's what I figured. It was an Infinity Stone. They're using to power some things.
Why would vibranium? I mean, but because I'm thinking of this, like the meteor was mostly vibranium when it hits Wakanda, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Would that be tied to the Soul Stone? But how the hell is the Soul Stone just making vibranium? I feel
they need the stone to somehow even cut the vibranium?
Right. But and I'm also thinking they could turn this on its head in the MCU, and we might actually get the Illuminati.
Are the flowers maybe like imbued with the power of the Soul Gem?
But not for like another year and a half.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So maybe they could still do it.
They technically won't have the rights until like September of 2019.
Okay.
So we've talked a lot about like the political leans and a lot of the themes that make Black Panther really like poignant and smart and great film. Let's talk about some more of like the superficial shit that made us laugh or really enjoyed.
Well, one of my favorites was the end battle scene where the rhino's charging at T'Challa. And the man is the other tribe leader, but his ex-wife or
his girlfriend,
his current lover,
steps in front of the rhino, and the rhino just stops and licks her on the face.
Yeah,
like he knows you. It's like a big dog. Like no, I'm not gonna hurt you. Yeah.
She just stares down.
It's like a lockjaw.
Yeah, it's like
and good on for her. Like he's like, you'd kill me. He's like, for Wakanda and my king. Yeah, I fucking would.
Yeah,
you don't need no man to tell you how to ride your rhino. My favorite side character is M'Baku. Like M'Baku had some of the best. Like even though he kind of starts off as a dick at the beginning when he challenges and gets his ass kicked hard by T'Challa for the first challenge.
Yeah.
But when when like he's saved him, he's still loyal to Wakanda. So he's still like a deep down he's a good guy. But that scene when Martin Freeman is trying to run his white mouth in his throne room, just ooh. And he says, if you open your mouth one more time, I'm gonna feed you to my children. Whole room just looks like deer in headlights. What the fuck did he say? He's like, I'm just kidding. We're vegetarian.
Yeah.
I thought he had by far the coolest looking building that is a throne room with the giant gorilla carved in the stone holding the building up. I was like, that is badass.
Yeah. I thought it was really cool. And, and his character is, again, he had funny moments after that too. Like when he asked for an army and he's like, no.
Right.
He's like, I
respect you, but
no.
I'm
not getting an army.
I mean, why? I mean, it's smart though. I mean, at the time, why would he want to participate in a civil war and get his own people killed when all he wants is peace? Which is, I mean, oh my God, there are so many brilliant political themes going on in this fucking movie.
Yeah.
But ultimately, at the end, T'Challa decides to open up the borders of Wakanda, or maybe not that, but at least do like you said, like Shuri's idea to do community outreach programs.
Yeah, he actually put little outreach buildings in communities, including the one where Killmonger's dad was killed. They built a building there. It's kind of another funny scene because I bought that building. I bought that building. I bought that building. I bought that building. He goes around like, I got money, buying everything. And then they do set up the outreach program, which is awesome. Another thing about Killmonger, I don't think anyone's mentioned yet, his suit, I liked even more than Black Panther's.
Well, that was actually one of the suits offered.
It was.
He was like, yeah. He was like, gold, too gauche.
No, he said he didn't pick it because he said if you don't need to draw attention to yourself.
Yeah.
And that was his whole mindset was I don't want to draw attention to myself. That's not who I am. And that one was very shiny and it's like silver.
It was gold.
You can hide silver more easily.
Yeah. So
which was created by his sister,
again,
who is this tech, just her brilliance. She, like you were saying, she is highly educated and she is just so smart. But that humor to her was perfect.
Oh yeah.
When she showed him those shoes that he puts on and they're dead silent, she goes, "You know what I call them? Sneakers." And I was just like, "Dad,
also the part where it's his coronation
because you sneak
and she raises her hand. She's like, "Oh no, I want to get this over with. This necklace is uncomfortable."
Right. Because she's like, "Oh, you're gonna challenge your brother?" And she's like, "No, let's get it over with. I'm done."
Yeah,
I want to get out of this corset. This was, like I said, I have had beef with Marvel movies in the past because of too much comedy. This, I feel, was appropriate comedy, appropriate levels, appropriate placement. So thumbs up right there. Now, one of our faithful listeners, his name is Edwin, he's posted, and we've talked about him before, told me that one of his biggest concerns about this film was that people would feel pressured or guilted into saying that Black Panther is a better movie than it is. You feel like if you don't say Black Panther's a great movie, that you're racist or something like that.
No,
I think that he makes a valid point, though.
I agree. I do think he makes a valid point. What I was saying no to is I think this movie on its own stands alone and is a great movie, regardless of who they're portraying. What I don't care if you put black, white, red, whatever up there. I think this. All the different plot lines we talked about, all the different overarching stories, all the character development makes it a great film, regardless of whoever you put up there.
Exactly. That's the point I'm trying to get at, Sweeney. What he says is accurate.
Yes.
100%. There are going to be those people who don't either understand it or didn't even go see it and are just going to say this is a great film because they don't want to make waves.
Right.
This is a great film because it is a great film.
Exactly. 100%. I mean, anytime you can get Panther gauntlets that shoot out vibranium sound waves.
Damn right.
But I pose a question to you gentlemen. Is it the greatest Marvel film to date?
I think it's the best solo character movie in a while. I still put it under Avengers and Guardians.
I was going to say
maybe
it's
Civil
in
War.
my top 5, but
Yeah,
some of these movies have to do with your own personal like nostalgia, your
That's where it's hard
choice
to
of
say.
characters.
And-
like to me, I still hold Iron Man 1 very high
I was going to say the
because
same thing.
it started all of this.
yeah,
And Tony Stark was made to be Robert Downey Jr. and Robert Downey Jr. was made to be Tony Stark.
yeah,
They are almost
and like this is like the 19th Marvel movie.
Yeah, it's up there.
Ballpark it at that. Like 10, 11, 12 of these, if I had to rank them, like it's like a game of inches.
Right.
Whereas in like it's very hard for me to numerically
You can't
place
separate them.
Yeah,
But you can, but it's like
it's very
it's like
I can
you
name,
1A, 1B.
I can name the ones that I don't like more than I can the ones I
Right.
actually
it could
like.
literally change day by
Right.
day. Like, how are you
Exactly.
feeling? Like, Phil, you unfortunately lost your mother. There might be a time that you turn on that first Guardians of the Galaxy and that bond that he has with his mom and lose it. Like, to you, that could be like, if you're feeling that moment, you're like, this is my number one movie. Because
I don't
of
watch
Chris.
the first 5 minutes of
Right,
Guardians 1.
That
I
is
don't-
one of like,
yeah,
That's tough to watch for
It is.
anybody.
Yeah.
I mean,
Cat,
And I mean-
Cat can't do it either.
yeah,
and
it's
it's
tough.
and it's based on taste too, where people are more action, so they go towards like Civil War, Avengers. But I like or they go comedy, and they might go
Ant-Man.
Guardians 1, 2, Ant-Man.
yeah.
Yeah, and that's the thing is, it's again personal preference as well. I mean, but for this one, I think is definitely. I mean, for me, it's top 3.
I think it's one of their best written
like
movies.
I think it's top 5 for me, but I just have a very hard time. Like I said, I have a very hard time putting it above Guardians, Civil War, and Avengers right now. But I mean, that could change when I buy it on DVD
and you
watch it again.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
Yeah, anybody's top 5. If you could say these are in my top 5 of the Marvel movies, like you said, they've made 19 of them, and very few of them are.
Yeah, I mean, if you
considered bad.
say Incredible Hulk, Iron Man 3, or Thor: Dark World are in your top 5, I'm slapping you. But like,
It's definitely better than Thor Ragnarok.
we don't talk about Iron Man 3.
Yeah, Iron
We
Man.
talk about it.
what
We're doing a
I'm
whole
saying is
episode.
that like, if you had said if someone else had said like, oh, my top 5 is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I'm like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
As long
Yeah,
as it's
I
three
can
movies,
see every
yeah,
part. I
exactly.
can see everything
Or
you
Iron
mean.
Man 2.
Yeah.
I don't like Iron Man 2.
Iron Man 1, Guardians, Black Panther, Civil War.
Right. I mean, they're all.
I hate that none of you were mentioning Captain America: The First Avenger.
I did not
it's-
like that one.
No, it's not
for
in my
me.
top
I
5.
like it, but it's not in my top 5.
He punches Hitler like 87 times.
And it takes you almost 2 hours to get there.
Yeah,
Fucking Luigi.
yeah, no.
I mean, that's great, but like to me, like I like First Avenger, but Civil War and Winter Soldier. I think
Winter
are
Soldier
better.
is one of the best.
But
I like
You know,
Winter Soldier. I
a
do.
lot of
It's
people
not
also
better
say
than the
like
first
it's kind of funny because like they made 3 Iron Mans, right? But then the first Avengers was another Iron Man movie, and then Civil War was another Iron Man movie. Like, so is it Iron Man 4 and 5? Because I mean, it really was all about Iron Man. Those ones anyway.
I'm Iron Man'd out. No offense.
Yeah. Well, he's going away soon. I mean,
Robert Downey Jr. is.
And you know what? I was talking to some friends at work today that I said I would love for the cinematic universe to do a little bit of a retcon. I could 100% buy Shuri as Ironheart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Riri Williams in the comics, for our listeners who are not familiar with comic bookdom, current Marvel universe, Ironheart is the young Avenger female super scientist Riri Williams, a young African-American woman who's smarter than Reed Richards and Bruce
Right.
Banner or Tony Stark, and she makes her own Iron Woman suit called Ironheart, and she fights crime in it because she's a genius. I'm with Andy 100%.
yeah, they definitely could do that.
Black Panther's sister Shuri could be Ironheart.
If she became Ironheart and replaced Robert Downey Jr.
I'm
as
fine
the
with it.
Iron Man focus
I mean,
for
as
the
long
next
as
phase,
as long as we don't get the
I'm
Tony
on
Stark.
board.
Yeah, as long as we don't get the Tony Stark AI, I'm fine with it.
No, I don't think they'll do that.
Iron Panther.
Iron
I don't know.
I would be
figure it out,
fully on
Marvel,
this.
but she's
Yeah.
amazing. I want more of her in future films.
Absolutely, I could
Yeah.
100% be behind that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there'll be a Black Panther too. There's no
Oh,
way.
Yeah,
I mean, Marvel has like, last I saw, Marvel has like 5 or 6 dates that they haven't announced movies for because these will be Phase 4 movies. They just haven't. They're waiting till closer to whatever.
because some of the
Avengers
titles
4.
obviously will spoil what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Right.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, so this is just my. I don't know much about the not Iron Man, the Black Panther, mythos
World, yeah.
So if they do another Black Panther film, since Claw is dead, Killmonger is dead, what villain are they going to? I mean, I don't know the villains.
Man-Ape.
You think
So
Man-Ape?
Man-Ape could be a villain. So
I mean,
M'Baku could go bad.
Yeah,
Okay.
especially because he was so well done in this.
He was.
one
I was
that,
surprised.
He was awesome.
To me, Man-Ape is kind of he's kind of like a Z-list Marvel villain to me.
Right.
This is my own personal opinion. He's kind of just one that you kind of like. It's like the armadillo or like the kangaroo, where you're just like, it's a guy in an ape outfit, like whatever.
He's he's never really a very serious threat.
Right. That's what I'm trying to get at. But he was done so well in this that I'm like, I would buy him as the villain in the sequel.
Yeah, I can see that.
Easily.
Absolutely.
So one of the myths of Wakanda in the comics is that the Black Panther and the White Ape, the spirits of the Black Panther and the spirit of the White Ape, are at war constantly.
Right.
And like all the other like tribes of Wakanda have like their spirit animal. And like the blue rhino and the other tribes that don't really remember very well, but I know that Wakabi's tribe with the rhinos, obviously their spirit is the rhino.
Right.
So White Ape is constantly trying to usurp the throne of the Black Panther in Wakanda. It's their sort of role as the fifth tribe.
Mm-hmm.
Now,
so you could easily do that for that mythos for the sequel.
Right.
They mentioned in the film a couple of times the White Wolf and how the White Wolf is also a protector in Wakanda. And some of the discussion now is possibly, everyone's assuming, Bucky's going to become the next Captain America. But what if they go
White Wolf?
Yeah. What if they go with the Falcon is going to become the new Captain America in Phase 4, and Bucky will be the White Wolf and will be in future.
I think Bucky's too popular of a choice to become Cap.
That's why I think he's going to be the White Wolf and will be that character in future Black Panther films.
Nah, I think they're going to
Falcon
go
being Captain America has a better message than Bucky doing it. Bucky's still part of like that greatest generation.
Mm-hmm.
That time has passed. Bucky should do something different. Bucky should find his own path.
I think I'm with you that Falcon as Cap is the better message. I think that Bucky's the easy choice to be the next Cap.
Yeah, that's why I like this idea of him being I don't know much about the White Wolf character, but I like the idea of him doing something that we're not.
Just make Frank Castle Captain America.
That was so short-lived, though, because he realized, he was like, you know what?
I mean, Captain,
I'm not worthy to carry this shield.
You mean Captain Punish Man?
Captain Punish Man.
He was like,
I just like the costume. I think Frank Castle's Captain America is an asshole.
Right.
I mean, he knew he was an asshole.
Oh, he knew. He was like, this isn't me.
Yeah, they don't have the rights to it, though.
People really love the Punisher, but with all the shit that's going down, Punisher's a fuck shit. Like, I don't fuck Punisher, man.
He's pretty sweet right now in the comics with the War Machine armor.
Yeah, that's the last fucking thing you do, by the way, is give fucking Punisher the War Machine armor.
What could go wrong?
Of course he's going to paint like a shitty fucking skull and spray paint on the front of it. Then he's going to murder like a small country. Like, fuck you, Frank Castle. Like, dude, Vietnam was not kind to Frank Castle. No. Yeah, he's a veteran, but he's fucking batshit insane.
Well, that and his family was taken from him, so.
I get that, but... Look, Batman's family was taken from him, and he
dresses like a bat and flies around at night.
But he doesn't AK-47 people and shit like that.
He doesn't murder people in comics.
Comics.
I mean, in the movies, he
lit up that entire dock right outside the warehouse. I was like, get some!
I was going to go far as Batman Returns, where he sticks a stick of dynamite down a clown's pants and then pushes him off a bridge.
Yes, that happened.
Something that
happens in Batman Returns.
Yeah.
He's killed in the comics. I mean, even in his first introduction, he carried a gun.
He carries a gun.
Oh, it's the gun that killed his parents, too. Yeah, I know that. But that's not the point. Like Superman, he lost the whole fucking species. He's like the last survivor of a whole species of people.
Well, that's because he's a god among insects.
But he also didn't know that until his morals were
my point is that heroes today are something that we want to aspire to be, or something that's supposed to inspire us. Frank Castle inspires people to do shitty fucking things with guns.
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
I don't think, and I never viewed him as an inspiration. I always viewed him as a break from the common hero.
He's a tragedy is what he is. He's a walking human tragedy.
Anyway.
Well,
I think it's poignant.
We spun way off.
No, I know.
There's some of the shit going on in our current life climate. Absolutely. I mean, fuck Punisher, dude. Right for now, Punisher can. If Punisher used rubber bullets, we'd have a completely different story.
He could, and beanbags and
Use beanbag shotguns. You can use non-lethals, Frank.
Those who die deserve to die.
Whoa.
Whoa.
All
Thanks,
right,
Dolph
then.
Lundgren. God damn.
That was dark.
Well, I mean, Punisher also kills bad people usually.
That's what I'm saying.
Is that
how you either like live long enough to you either die the hero or you live long enough to see yourself become the villain.
What iteration of Punisher was that line from?
That's Dolph Lundgren from the first Punisher film.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I've seen that movie because God damn it, they have slip and slide ninjas.
I was just making that up.
No, Dolph Lundgren says that in the first Punisher film.
The people that die deserve to die.
Yeah.
Yeah. Have you seen that movie?
No.
Because like I said, there are
I just pulled that right out.
Slip and slide ninjas with guns in that movie. That movie's
a dark film too.
It's dark film. That movie's fucking incredible for how trashy it is.
It's kind of amazing. He takes on the Yakuza and the Italian mob simultaneously. And it's like, okay, cool. This is cool Punisher.
Yeah. He
then
lives
you get
in a sewer and doesn't talk.
Murder, kill Punisher.
But also Punisher and Daredevil season 2 is an amazing Punisher.
We're
talking about, hold on. I need to go find this movie now. Because it's terrible.
Well, we've flown way off.
Well, I think we finished our Black Panther conversation.
I think to our listeners, like if you haven't seen Black Panther and you've listened to this, what's wrong with you?
You should still go see it.
Absolutely.
It's worth a view. You should definitely see the film based your own opinions on it. But I think this is definitely a top 5 for me as well.
Yeah.
5.
I haven't seen a movie.
5 on the weeaboo scale, just the top 5.
I haven't seen a movie in the theaters twice since Force Awakens. I thought it was longer, but I'm going to go see it again this weekend.
I was really pleased with this movie. I went in on Saturday after the hype train had like hit full swing and it was getting 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes. I was like, there is absolutely no way this movie can live up to this hype. And like I said, the only problems I had were Martin Freeman got too much screen time and that Bucky scene after the credits. That's all.
Yeah.
The cast is amazing. The acting's amazing. The plot's awesome. The messages are great. It makes you fucking think if you're actually paying attention. 2 thumbs up. Fuck yeah, Black Panther. Wakanda Forever.
It's still sitting at a nice.
Did you do 2 thumbs or did you do like
2 fingers? It's still sitting at
no gang signs.
It's still sitting at a nice 97% on Rotten Tomatoes. Last I looked.
That's incredible.
I mean, honestly, it earned it because this is a movie you can love no matter where you come from, no matter who you are. And if you can just let go of whatever's eating away at you on the inside for a little bit, you can learn to love. You can love this movie because it's lovable. It's a great fucking film. Angela Bassett, who the fuck knew?
Yeah.
She still hasn't won an Emmy for all the stuff she's done.
Anything that she's done? Wow.
Or an Oscar.
She was Rosa Parks. She was, what else did she do?
She was Tina fucking Turner, dude.
Yeah.
Right.
Like she's done some amazing, powerful films. And
Cowboy Curtis was fucking Ike Turner.
Yeah.
She's been Oscar nominated, though.
Lawrence
Correct.
Fishburne.
I don't know what for, though.
She needs a win.
Oh, for Tina Turner. Yeah. What's love got to do with it?
What's love got to do? Got to do with it. Who needs an Emmy when an Oscar's gonna do it?
And he's seen imaginary things. I'm not sure what he's smoking over there.
Fuzzies on my mic.
Fuzzies on my mic.
Fuzzies on my... Oh.
I put my dick on your mic earlier.
Yeesh.
So, gentlemen...
that's what that smell is? No, according to her IMDb, she is also in Infinity War.
Oh, good.
Yeah, she will be...
I was not aware she was in Infinity War.
Again, I forget the name. Black Panther's girlfriend.
Nakia.
Nakia is going to be...
Nakia...
Michonne.
Yeah.
Michonne with a spear. Yeah.
Okoye.
She's Michonne.
Yep.
Deny who's...
So we're getting a lot
Shuri's going to be in Infinity... So, I mean,
we're getting a lot.
Obviously,
they're going to go to
Wakanda's in
Wakanda.
Infinity War.
Yeah, they're going to Wakanda.
So Infinity War might as well be Black Panther 1.5.
Right.
Which is cool with me. These characters are awesome. And I'm looking forward to seeing how Captain America rolls in Wakanda for a while.
Yeah. I'm also curious to see how Black Panther's suit can hold up to a Thanos punch.
I mean, it's vibranium, and it was obviously based on what I saw, it absorbs all kinetic energy.
So can you imagine him getting hit and then releasing that energy back?
I mean, Thanos could probably take it, though. That's the thing. Like, it wouldn't
probably.
Be like, I hit myself all the time.
Right. I just want. Only thing I want Infinity War to have is Captain America walking up and punching Thanos. It has to have that.
It better happen, and I'm going to love it. And you won't see that until Infinity Gauntlet, not Infinity War.
No.
You probably won't even see Thanos hit
Mm-hmm.
Earth on the next film. You won't even see Thanos. He's sending the fucking Black Order.
You've
already seen him on Earth though in the previews.
You're not going to see him hit planet Earth though.
I think that's like near the end of the fourth one is like Captain America stands up to Thanos and decks him, and Thanos is just like,
and just wipes out half the universe.
Says fuck it.
Do you think they're going to actually focus on Thanos' romantic obsession with Lady Death?
I hope not.
I don't think so. Like, I know they're trying to like be super super quiet on like, is
Hela.
What's her name coming back? Hela coming back. I don't know yet. Like, I'm so on the fence about that aspect of it. Like, I don't know if he's doing it to curry favor with Death because he's in love with Death, or if he's just doing it because he's just power hungry. I'm so on the fence about that.
If they use Hela as that, I'm cool with it. If they don't bring it in at all, I'm cool with that.
I'd rather them not do it than fill in Hela for Death.
But I liked Kate Blanchett. I liked Hela.
I love Kate Blanchett too. I'm not hating on fucking Galadriel.
I wish she actually had more time, and that was my I still like Ragnarok. It is super heavy on the humor. However, the humor works.
I think that
I just wish it's called Ragnarok. Where's your doom and gloom and actual seriousness?
I think it's just going to be so much that they're also doing the Black Order, or some of the members of the Black Order,
like almost all of them.
Like, I think if they do a background for Thanos like that, I think it's just almost too much.
Let's count it off. They're doing Corvus Glaive. They're doing Proxima Midnight.
Yeah,
they're doing Ebony Maw.
Those are
and
the
they're
only
doing Black Dwarf.
Dwarf send it too.
Oh, okay. So those are the only three. Wasn't there 5 or 6 of them, or is it just those 4?
That's the entire Black Order right there.
Oh, okay. Then they are doing the whole Black Order.
So this is another Lego set thing. So if you don't want to hear about this,
I don't want to know actually.
No, it's Legos. It's not. I mean, that's how I know Black Dwarf is in it because there's that.
I just don't. I thought you were going to go into like the whole like setup of like, and I just
no. I think if they do, it's too easy to give Thanos that story behind him. I think they need to actually build him up differently.
Yeah,
I just don't want that to be the story.
I think I don't think Thanos is going to be that great of a fleshed out villain. I'm just going to call it right now.
Oh well,
even throughout 2 movies.
Yeah.
Huh?
So no shit.
Yeah.
They've taken 19 movies to prepare for him arriving. He's going to arrive and be like, I'm doing it just because I want to.
Probably.
I just like your fucking dirtball planet. Thanks, guys.
I will say that I have hit a point with Infinity War where I'm probably just going to go full blackout, where like I don't want to know figures, Lego sets.
You better stay off them WWE Reddits then.
True. And then I also don't want to like when they put out the next trailer, which I'm surprised they didn't do with Black Panther.
I know, right?
I'm not going to watch it.
Do you think we will get another trailer at this point? We're
only
3 months away.
Usually with movies, you get a teaser one, you get a regular trailer. They've only done the teaser.
Yeah.
I thought there was a teaser and a full-blown I thought there has been a teaser and then a full-blown trailer.
There was the Super Bowl commercial. That's it. It's the teaser and the Super Bowl commercial. That's it.
Well, gentle geeks.
Is that what we are this week?
I want to thank you guys, I want to thank our listeners for tuning in to this episode. Yes, this was this can be considered sensitive subject matter in this day and age, but we need to have a dialogue. This is an important thing for us as Americans and as film fans to talk about. And the fact that it gets us talking about it is important, because otherwise we probably wouldn't be talking about it when we should be. And
2018, let's grow up a little bit.
Hell yes. And if you can't get behind just a fun and positive superhero film like Black Panther for whatever the hell's eating away at your soul, then you're not a real fan, man. And just don't even we don't even want you in the conversation. Just piss off. But otherwise, check this fucking film out. It was a pleasure talking to you guys. Wakanda Forever.
Wakanda Forever. I didn't do the hand motion. Sorry.
Tim's just like, fuck you.
Yeah, no. No.
Anyway, thanks again for tuning in to the Hateful Geeks. I'm Phil.
This is Sweeney.
I'm Andy.
And this is Tim.
And Tim, do it. Do it. Do Wakanda Forever. Do it. That's right. All right, now you can leave. Bye.
Toodle.